Hey everyone, I hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. You've probably been following the news like I have from our governor and from our president about how churches and businesses are starting to open up in our community. So I wanted to provide just a little quick update about where we are, about how we're praying, about how our plans are unfolding toward, hopefully, having some physical services again in the not too distant future. I don't know if you managed to catch John Tyson's talk on Sunday morning, but I was actually so impacted by the way that he spoke about self control that really is ultimately for the benefit of another. And as we think about opening services, I think that's actually a very profound and prophetic message to us, realizing that although if you're like me, you're just desperate to get back in a space with other people, desperate to hug them, desperate to be family and church together in all the kind of ways that we love, we also realize that our decisions have a huge impact on those that are vulnerable in our wider society. And we're trying, therefore, when we think and we pray, we plan, to really bear in mind the way that we are neighbors, the way that we care, the way that we are part of the wider society, and we are to be good news as well as to preach good news to our city. And so we're making plans. We're making plans alongside other churches in the Vintage Network. We're making plans alongside other churches, wonderful friends of ours in and around Pasadena. We're making them in conjunction with the school district. We're making them in conjunction with our city leaders here in Pasadena. And as you can imagine, if you put all that together, it's quite complicated and there's quite a lot to think through. But we are hoping that in the not too distant future, I can't tell you if it's going to be a few weeks or if it's going to be a few months, we will be able to start some services again, hopefully at Hamilton Elementary School. It's likely that they will have quite significant restrictions and rules around how we do those, and so we're going to have to be quite careful about those. But we are very much committed to make sure that whenever we start physically putting people together in one room, that we will also be continuing to live stream our service at the same time, because we know that probably the restrictions and just where we are, some of us as individuals, will be at a place where we can't or won't really be wanting to be back in a room immediately with other people. And so it might be that for a while we'll have physical services with a certain number of people in them. At the same time, we'll be live casting out to people who might be in their own homes, or maybe even just a few families meeting together. But I hope that in the next weeks we'll be able to put a lot more shape around those plans. And in the meantime, if you have questions, if you have thoughts, if you have ideas that you'd like to share, we just absolutely love to hear those from you. This week we're going to have the last of our prayer and worship nights on Tuesday nights. We've been doing them through the sort of deepest, darkest parts of lockdown, but we realize as the evenings get lighter, as people have a little bit more freedom to move around, that those probably don't quite have the same need quite where they are, but we'll be transitioning to other things on the weeks to follow. And then this Sunday, I'm going to be speaking from the last bit of Colossians chapter 1. Beautiful, incredible 7 words. Christ in you, the hope of glory. What does that mean? Why does it change everything about everything? And I really want to encourage you, if you've got friends, if you've got family, particularly those who don't normally come to church, maybe those who wouldn't call themselves Christians, I would love to challenge you and invite you to invite along a friend to join us on Sunday morning for what should be a very gospel-centered service. So be with us on Sunday morning. We'll also be doing communion as well. So have a great week and see you then.